Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to present my research proposal. My project investigates how Skybury Farm's agritourism operations contribute to Sustainable Development Goal 8, which focuses on decent work and economic growth within the Atherton Tablelands in far north Queensland. This study aligns with the Cunningham Holdings Community and Workforce Development subsidiary, which invests in initiatives that strengthen regional employment, workforce capability, and long-term economic resilience. Regional Australia faces increasing economic pressures. In far north Queensland, agriculture remains a vital industry, but it is challenged by seasonal labour shortages, market fluctuations, youth outmigration, and limited stable employment pathways. At the same time, domestic tourism continues to grow, and visitors are increasingly seeking authentic farm-based and food-based experiences. Agritourism sits at the intersection of these trends, offering a way for farms to diversify, create jobs, and contribute meaningfully to regional economies. Skybury Farms, Australia's oldest commercial coffee plantation, is a leader in agro-tourism. It employs more than 120 people across farming, hospitality, retail, and tourism roles. But despite its significance, little research exists on how Skybury actually contributes to SDG 8 outcomes in practice. That is the problem that this project seeks to address. We know that agritourism has potential to stimulate rural economies, but there is limited empirical evidence showing how individual enterprises like Skybury support decent work, inclusive employment, and regional economic resilience. Without this evidence, policymakers, industry bodies, and investors lack the insights needed to support, replicate, or scale effective agritourism workforce models. This creates a missed opportunity for regional development in far north Queensland and for organisations like CHL that seek to invest in sustainable, community-centred growth. My research aim is to explore Skybury's contribution to SDG 8 within the Atherton Tablelands. There are 3 research questions focused on employment creation, inclusive participation, and partnership-driven resilience. These questions are practical, applied, and directly tied to CHL's priorities. Skybury is an ideal case for several reasons. First, it demonstrates a successful, vertically integrated agritourism model. Second, it provides stable, year-round employment rather than purely seasonal roles. Third, it anchors a network of local suppliers, tour operators, and regional tourism bodies. And finally, it is recognised within the community as a long-standing and trusted regional business. Studying Skybury allows us to understand what is working well and where further investment could strengthen outcomes for the community and workforce. To answer the research questions, I will use a qualitative case study design. Data will be collected through semi-structured interviews with Skybury managers, employees, and tourism partners. Document analysis of Skybury materials, regional development plans, and agritourism reports. Purposive and snowball sampling will ensure that participants are information-rich and directly involved in agritourism and workforce activity. Thematic analysis will be used to identify patterns across interviews and documents, and NVivo software will support rigorous coding. This mixed qualitative method provides the depth, detail, and contextual understanding necessary to evaluate SDG 8 outcomes. This research offers direct value to the CHL community and workforce development subsidiary. First, it will provide evidence-based insights into how agritourism enterprises create decent work and support local economic participation. Second, it will identify scalable workforce development models that CHL can leverage across other far north Queensland communities. Third, it will strengthen CHL's role in supporting SDG 8 by providing concrete examples of how business-led community development can drive sustainable growth. And fourth, the findings can inform workforce programs, training initiatives, and regional investment strategies that align with CHL's long-term goals. Simply put, this project gives CHL the data it needs to invest confidently and strategically in rural workforce development. The expected outcomes include a clear understanding of how Skybury contributes to employment stability and skill development, identification of barriers and enablers for inclusive economic participation, recommendations for strengthening agritourism-led workforce pathways, a scalable framework CHL can use to identify and support high-impact agritourism enterprises. The broader impact is a stronger, more resilient regional economy in far north Queensland, built on sustainable employment, diversified industries, and empowered local communities. In closing, this research provides an important opportunity to understand how agritourism can drive sustainable employment and economic resilience in far north Queensland. By focusing on Skybury Farms, the project will produce practical, actionable insights that the CHL community and workforce development subsidiary can use to guide investment, strengthen partnerships, and support long-term regional prosperity. Thank you for your time, and I welcome your questions.